into the next part of the day, which is a fireside chat. I'm sorry. It's a panel discussion, Tech Meets Chemistry. This panel brings together brilliant minds working where technology intersects with chemistry, a space full of breakthroughs. Moderating this conversation will be Finsi Mohammad Yusuf, Vice President for Growth at Equipo Health. On the panel are Dr. Aswati Udayan, Technical Head AIinvent.org, Aarti Lakshman, Founder Artinchi, Sumit Rastogi, Co-founder Artinchi, Nidin Sri Kumar, Director, Accubits Invent Private Limited. As I said, the moderator is Finsi Mohammad Yusuf. Over the past 15 years, Finsi has structured and normalized how delivery and operations are managed in various organizations, which include startups, mid-size organizations, and MNCs such as EY, Lionbridge, etc. Startups and innovations are what keep her bright and breezy. Thank you, dear panelists. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Kajal. First of all, I would request all of you all to give a big round of applause to Kajal. She's done a fantastic job yesterday, and she has done a fantastic job in the morning. I don't think this, the area would have been this, bright and running if it weren't for you. Okay, guys, generally, this panel should have been something that we do, just sit on the floor and have a chit-chat. This is not going to be a typical panel discussion. We are going to leave the serious talks to every other panel discussion or every other track. If possible, I would have requested you guys to grab a cup of coffee and just have a chat with us, because this is going to be heart-to-heart conversation. The name is obviously purposely misleading. It has nothing to do with chemistry. It actually has a lot more to do with more organic chemistry or personal chemistry. So I have two fantastic couples with me. This has everything to do with power couples. So if you are an aspiring entrepreneur and is thinking, oh, how will I bring work-life balance? Will I find somebody? Will I find love? Blah, blah, blah. We are here to cut off the myth that you can only do one, that you can only either build your dream or then have a life and live your life. We want to bring both of it together because there are so many couples out there who have done that. So Warren Buffett actually said one of the best decisions that you take is finding a partner who is better than you, right? So there's two conditions to that. First, to be able to understand that, oh, I have something less in me that somebody is going to fulfill. And the second part, obviously, is to understand that, is this the right partner for me? And that choice, obviously, is never going to be easy. So I have two couples with me. I'm going to introduce both of them to you. This here is the people who you guys are going to love, because what they do in Artinchi, which is their founding venture, is that they bring you indulgences guilt-free. So whatever they make is, you can just gobble it down. I went to their website and I had my mouth watering. So many barfis and laddus, and when you say it is diet restricted, guilt-free, man, what are you guys doing to us? Fantastic job with Artinchi. And guess what? They were featured in Shark Tank as well. So big round of applause to them for that. But you would think that Aarti probably started with Artinchi. No, she started her life in the corporate world. She was an HR manager with Accenture. And Sumit himself, and I'm going to look at the name so I do justice to you. He was working with Nielsen, India Nielsen UAE, where he was leading strategy, growth, marketing, etc. So he brings that into Artinchi. So together, they are a power couple who knows what each of them are going to do to make sure that their work stays intact. Now, on my right are I don't want to say boring people, but they are the techie people who bring the tech in the tech with chemistry. I have Nitin with me, and I have Dr. Ashwati with me. You know what? I know a little bit about their love story, if you guys want to know about it. I heard that they were the known secrets. Everybody knew that they were in love, but they didn't say it out loud. Nobody did. But somehow they knew that they were a couple, and ultimately they decided to tie the knot and then eventually start Accubits Invent AI. They are trying to make air pure for you all. They are trying to make sure that through AI and other technologies that they have invented, that they be able to bring out the best in, like predict if they are going to be lung disease, etc. I'm going to let them speak to what they're doing. So a lot of innovation over here and a lot of food over here. So two different kinds of couple, but both of which are very, very important to us. So maybe I'll start with you, Nitin. So when I was thinking about a couple and when they come in together, the first thing I think about is vision and role, right? So how did you first decide to combine your professional lives, and how did you define and separate the roles that you guys are going to play? What's Ashwati going to do? What you are going to do?
Okay. So, like you said, it did not start right away. So, I was in academia first. Then we had an idea. Actually, it was kind of like I'm from a chemical engineering background. So, I was working in sensors. So then it struck that okay, we could be identifying volatile organic compounds. Or okay, let me stick to non-technical things.
Yes, please.
Sorry. Yeah, and yeah, feel free to stop me if I'm going too technical, because I tend to lecture because I was doing lecturing before
Okay,
starting the
understood.
company. Okay. That's how we began the company. It's on more on developing a new technology rather than putting it out there in the initial stages. Now, the initial 2 years was more and more like on playing around with materials, playing around with different chemical combinations. So that was more me, I'll say. So after the first couple of years, then suddenly she posed a question. So since you are making a sensor which could do certain things, why not use it for biology?
Oh, so that triggered it.
That triggered the whole idea.
Okay.
So that's what like okay. Anyway, since both of us are from research background, we were like discussing the same thing over and over again everywhere.
Okay.
Even if we are sitting down for a coffee during dinner tables, everywhere, the conversation is going to be somewhere around science. So that question triggered the whole thing. Then I said, okay, why don't you join? Why don't you come aboard, take the lead on this whole thing, so that I'll be happy with playing with materials, and she'll be happy with taking the lead on
Oh,
the
so from then
application
onwards, you
side.
had the differentiation
Yes.
decided. Okay,
So because like both of our domain expertise is different.
I see.
So I am more into material sciences, and she is more into the biology and microbiology part of it. So that distinction was built
Easy,
in.
easy.
It
I
was
see.
built in.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so that became something that was very natural to you, that you had differential expertise. So, but then in your case, guys, so I just wanted to ask, based on your experience, what's the most important quality you would look in someone when you're looking for both, a life partner and a business partner? What is it that you would look for?
I think in business and in life, there are certain set of core values that you hold as a person, which is probably pretty similar to the core values that you will set up for your organization if you're an entrepreneur, right? So those core values is something that each of you aligns to. There are a bunch of non-negotiable traits that you look for if you without probably being very conscious of it, but if you were conscious of it, you would know that these are the traits that I'm looking for in a life partner, in a team member, in a business partner, and so on. You instinctively know that, and I think you vibe with those people who you see those traits in. I think each of us has a different set of values, but on top of everything else is the ability to innately trust each other, have a very high sense of north star in where you want your life and your business to head in. These are some of the important things that all of us look for in a life partner, and it's no different when you're running a business.
Are you buttering him on stage, or I mean, I don't understand. Like, haven't you guys been married for like 20 years now?
23.
23. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think like she was saying that you choose the partner first, then perhaps the founder, right? And while you choose the partner, there are certain non-negotiables. So there is some frequency match and all of that, right? And from a starting a company together, what worked for us was complementary skills. Like if we perhaps both of us were doing pretty much same thing and had same strengths and things like that, maybe it didn't work or
Right,
it wouldn't
right,
have worked,
that's true.
right? So complementing skills helped, and trust is something somebody has your back, right? Day in day.
Absolutely. So see, you guys have just started your life. You guys have people who are veterans. So, in terms of, let's say, Ashwati, sacrifices. Nobody speaks about sacrifices, right? Whenever people are successful, usually people look at what the success story was about, but nobody talks about the sacrifices. Can you tell us about probably one personal and one probably financial sacrifice, or something that you had to sacrifice to make sure that your venture worked?
So, when talking about sacrifice, the first personal sacrifice is vacations. Since we both are working on for a same goal, it's difficult to plan a vacation now. Before joining Invent or before starting Invent, it was easy to plan vacation for us. We used to travel a lot. As a couple, our friends used to say, "You are never in your hometown, always traveling." Now it's not happening. So our vacation is like business meetings now. We
Oh.
plan it like that.
Okay.
It is not a sacrifice, but
Right.
we enjoy both. So that is a personal sacrifice. And when talk about the financial thing, obviously it's the irregular income.
Yeah.
Since we are in a startup, we are not having a regular income for meeting up our EMIs or like expenses like vacation and all. So it's income only. We both have irregular incomes. We doesn't have a comfortable salary.
I think that's a taken
Yeah.
when you decide to take this journey.
Yes, yes.
Right? It's
Yes.
kind of a taken that you would probably have to do this
Yes,
for
yes.
a certain amount of time till you
Yes.
find that success,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yes.
Since she spoke about vacations, I just want to ask, how do you transition to home? What is probably something that's non-negotiable to you in terms of a ritual or a habit? How do you turn off business once you come back home? How do you do that? I mean, if you bring back the laddus, that's a different story. But other than that,
So Sumit is the guy who helps with our boundaries actually, and he has a set of rules that he's made for us on how we should transition from there's a cutoff period at which we should stop talking about work. It doesn't always work like that, but we try to make it work as much as we can. I'll hand it over to Sumit to explain these rules for us.
Yeah, so I mean, we've tried many things that we should not carry work home and all, but it doesn't happen, right? Because you always are thinking about work, right? And invariably, there are moments like you get up and start discussing things, right? And which is essentially disturbs the morning schedule, then the evening schedule, and whatnot.
right.
So we kind of tried a few things like okay, 8 o'clock is cut off. After that, we'll watch something or do something else, not talk about work. Morning again, after we finish the workout and everything, after that only we can talk. It doesn't work, but I mean, as much as you can try, you do that.
Right.
And yeah, I think you need to have some boundaries. Like she was talking about vacations. Vacations are shorter and shorter. So you do 2 days, you do 3 days. You don't have the luxury to go, for a
Right.
week. And so those are things which I think
Tip.
before you jump in,
So that's the tip then. You take 2 or 3 days rather than trying to find a whole lot. And I think you are the strict one amongst the two of y'all, huh? You say the deadlines, when to stop talking about work and all that. Switch off. Okay.
Never happened.
That will never
It
happen.
never happens.
Yeah, but because you guys probably are always talking about technology, right? But in that sense, Nitin, just tell me, how do you think you have a competitive edge over your competitors because you have your partner by your side, somebody who works alongside you and who knows or somebody who understands the tech?
So that is the biggest edge that I am having currently. One point is that she understands the tech inside out. Second thing is I can totally rely on her for everything. So even if I'm stuck at something else, I can blindly say that okay, you do that for me. So that trust is always there. Uh, and when the initial discussion was there, finding a partner and finding a co-founder are two different things.
Correct, correct.
So if it is one and the same, that
Right.
makes all the differences.
Hmm.
So the complementarity that you are looking for in a partner is exactly what is needed for a co-founder.
Right.
So
Right.
that is the edge that currently I'm having within my peers even.
Right.
Within the specific domain of technology and bringing it into a product level, that is one edge. She understands the whole thing, the market, the technology, what needs to be done. So even if I'm unavailable or unable to perform an experiment, I can simply note down 2 or 3 points and text it to
She
her.
can do it
She
for
can
you.
do it. So there is no
That's a
problem.
fantastic edge,
Yes.
because one of the things that probably even I struggle with is, taking something to completion, because the three of us who are working together, we have three different kinds of work that we're doing. So something that I have to complete when I come back tomorrow. So you are absolutely spot on. Having her beside you obviously is, helping you above your competitors, right? So in terms of, since we spoke about competitive edge, let's talk about definition of success, right? Earlier on, when you guys had different lives, your corporate life and your corporate life, probably your definition of success from a professional front would have been completely different, right? So how has that changed now? How has the mindset completely changed around your definition of success now that you're thinking about your venture together?
So, everyone's definition of success when we begin a business is financial success, right? Because why else would you be in business? It's the business of business is to be successful with your financials and all that. But along the way, we have also honed it to say that how true to our original promise on providing a healthy desert to our customers, how true we stand with that promise, and how truly we deliver on that in the face of easier options or shortcuts that we can possibly take. So that is one definition of success that we have set up for ourselves, that we need to abide the core promise that we have made to our customer. And the other is how we give back to the community around us in our own small way, with in our capacity as a small business. Can we still generate employment for people? So who can those jobs go to?
Right.
Can we give those jobs to those who deserve a spotlight, where a spotlight never shines on them in the normal scheme of things? I refer to work with persons with disability community.
Right.
I refer to our community of women who work for us, who would not be allowed, if we were to use such a word, by their families to work very far away from their home.
Right.
So they find employment with us just because they live in the neighborhood and we have a safe space to offer employment to them.
Right.
They love working. So these are some definitions of success that we have evolved. The jobs that we generate, we want to give those jobs to people who would not be otherwise seen in the
Right.
mainstream.
Yeah. So, I mean, success for us, like what she's talking about, is customer success, then employee success, and vendor success, right? So, all of them, because they're associated with us, need to gain something in
Yeah.
their own journeys with us, right?
Right.
Apart from that, on a personal level, I mean, we have very small success criterias now: ability to get home on time, watch something OTT, and spend maybe an hour together, not talking about work and all of that. So, those are like small wins
Right.
every day.
So I mean, it's funny, right? I mean, nobody thinks about that part as well. That when we pick up somebody or we hire someone, we are responsible for them till till the till we take our venture forward, and for them is when we thrive really hard. So success for us obviously comes along with their success as well. So we are responsible for their homes and their dependents as well. So I love that you guys talked about that. And just to let you all know, Artanchi makes sure that they hire people with different abilities or differently able, so that since they may find it difficult to find employment elsewhere, Artanchi makes sure that they are employed. So kudos to you guys for that. That's a fantastic stuff to do. And just chiming on to that, um, how have you guys defined success for you guys? Because their line of work is different, right? How about you guys? Since you guys work in tech, success might have a lot of criteria, right? I mean, do you guys also think in that terms?
Wanna start? Okay. So again, and like I said, we come from a research background. So our initial idea of success was that to perfect the technology, we should have something which is okay, foolproof from all aspects. Now, when we started working on this particular tech for probably like the past 3 to 4 years, and currently after all the patent and everything is done, now only we are talking about or thinking about how it is going to affect other people. Now, when you do that, the whole idea of success changes.
Yeah, absolutely. Right.
So, like you said, the product that we are trying to make is able to pre-screen diseases before even symptoms arise.
Right.
So, when we had conversations with doctors who are actually on the forefront of like meeting this whole criteria, that was one thing that kind of like was an eye opener.
Right.
The definition of success for that particular domain or product changes completely. It touches so many lives. Imagine a middle class household where one person is the like income generator. If you are able to keep that person running for maybe like 5 more years,
Yeah, absolutely.
imagine what could happen.
Right.
So, I mean, as opposed to that particular person being decommissioned or bedridden,
Right.
before another income generator of that family is able to manage the situation.
Right.
So, that changed the whole thing. So, we define success by that metric now,
Wow.
not by the perfection of the product or how it impacts the people that we are
Society.
touching. Yes.
Right. I mean, think about it. They are able to screen people even before symptoms arise. I mean, we have a lot of technology out there that can screen probably right after symptoms and before things get worse. What you guys are doing is phenomenal in that context. But I'm sure with all this flowery talks, I'm sure there's going to be conflicts. You guys might be throwing plates and glasses on each other, having, fights and taking fights to the bed and all that. So, conflict resolution. How do you resolve conflicts? What's the mantra that you guys use for conflict resolution?
So for that, our answer is simple. First, we yell at each other in public and make many people uncomfortable before we recover from that. And then we say, okay, we need to be more objective than this. We do that less often now. We used to do that more earlier, but after having a series of private conversations, we've decided that we should be more constructive. And from there, we, write things down, brainstorm things with the team, and then arrive at a solution. I'm sure there's, it can get even better with even more practice and time.
So I would have said, the hair goes gray. I don't know what to tell you, but how?
No, so I mean, conflicts happen and pretty much on the daily basis, right? But I think two things do not change when the conflict happens. One is the trust, which we were talking about, right? So the trust is always there that both of us want good for the business, good for the people, right? So that kind of guides. And we try to keep our subjectivity out of it, right? We try to. So like Aarti was saying that we got better with time.
Yeah.
Initially it was like how can it
Tip
like
number
this?
2.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So it does get better with time, but yeah, I think they are the part and parcel of the job.
Right. I mean, I think with every couple there is a time frame after which you are like, forget it. Never
Chalta
going to
hai.
answer it. Chalta hai. He's never going to understand. She's never going to understand. Forget it. What's the point in losing energy? But since you guys are a new couple, how long have you been? Like
It's not new. It's
Oh.
like 9 years now.
Yes.
9 years. Yeah, 9 years is comparatively old,
Compared
but
to them,
have-
it's new.
compared to them,
Yes.
it's new. How about your conflict resolution? How about your conflict resolution? What does he do that just ticks your?
Yeah. We'll always argue, and arguments will be there. And when the tone rises, we'll stop it there.
Nice.
Then we will take a break. Otherwise, like glass plates, everything will be everywhere. So we'll take a break, and then maybe after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, once our brains are cooled down, then we will think about it, who's right. Maybe in case of finances or strategies and all, Nitin will be right. There I will take a step down.
Right.
And in case of science or technology, that kind of things, I will take a stand. And even people management also, I will take a stand. So there he understands, and he will like back off.
Beautiful.
So yeah,
Beautiful.
that
So
is
I
a,
think that comes back to that same point that we made in the beginning, right? About roles and definition of roles. So I think you guys resolve it understanding each other's strength. And that's wonderful, and that goes with our personal lives as well. Somewhere our better halves or our other halves generally are that way, or we've chosen them because we've seen something in them that probably we feel that we lack, and probably that helps out in defining. But just in terms of understanding what would have been better today from 9 years back, since you guys said 9 years, if you were to start today, let's say that you were to start today, what would you have done differently, probably about Acubits Invent, and about how you guys are running? If there's one thing that probably you guys feel jointly you could have done differently.
so for that matter, I will choose to join the firm earlier, because I have worked in some other organizations for the past 2 years, and then I have joined Invent because of the conflict. We were thinking like, if we are like running a startup together, the conflicts will be there,
Right.
and we will ended up in separation or something like that, because we were not confident in that
Right.
that kind of thing. But once we were joined in the firm, and then we started to understand each other, then we realized that it's doable.
Right.
Like, if I want to change one thing, that will be
Joining
like
earlier?
joining earlier, because Nitin was always telling me that it will not work out, like if we
I'm
are
to blame
together.
for that.
Yeah. So but now he understands that no, this will work.
This will work.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think it will be same for all the couple entrepreneurs, because they will be like, they will not be ready in the beginning to start together.
Right.
But eventually they will understand there will not be any co-founder or founder better than your partner.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's where overtime comes to the picture. So it took like a couple of years to understand that completely,
Right.
that she is the right person to call as a co-founder rather than
Awesome.
finding a new person.
Awesome.
And one thing I would do differently is to reading people, understanding their motives, and to manage finances on a better level.
Okay.
So that would have been that. Okay. More importantly, to approach the problem on a different perspective.
Mm.
So I'm more of a technical person.
Right.
So I would approach a problem from a technical angle.
Right. Right.
So after talking to lot many people regarding the product, we understood that okay, at least I understood that she was saying that from the beginning.
Mhm.
I understood that okay, you should approach the problem from that perspective,
Right.
not from a technical perspective, to pitch the vision or pitch the product's capability before making the product,
Right. Right.
so that we don't overcook the product.
Right.
That's what
Right.
I say.
Right.
Huh.
Absolutely. And I've seen that people tend to get into a loop of doubt.
Yes,
Loop of
yes.
doubt. They generally doubt the things that they do. They go into that vicious circle. The one thing that I think from what she said, and I completely agree to that, is you get out of the vicious circle. You somewhere when you are in doubt, you really need somebody to pull you out. Sometimes you may not be able to pull yourself out, and nobody would be able to do that better than your partner, right? You have to trust your partner that much, right? So personal growth, let's talk personal growth, right? I mean, we spoke about your definition of success as well, so let's talk about personal growth. How do you think your uh, and then again, you guys can be as candid as possible, like, would you would you feel that you would have done things differently if you were individuals? Or in terms of your personal growth, how do you think you have actively supported each other, and how your partner has actually defined your growth for you?
So, in terms of growth, there's immense amount of growth. It's like a business school and therapy rolled into one when you're running a business. So there is a lot of development that happens on a daily basis because of that. I think what it goes alongside that is how you're able to balance other interests alongside, and that's where in the beginning it is difficult to understand how to differentiate your personal and your professional, but over a period of time I think we do gain that practice to be able to figure that out. We addressed it a little while ago as well. That's where interests beyond work do come into play. And, I'm like Sumit, unconditionally supports a few things which are otherwise difficult for anyone to support. Like we have 3 animals from at home and we were not even animals people in the past, but after COVID and after, seeing so many animals out there on the road, they're all indies, and from not being an animals person at all to being able to wholeheartedly welcome them and be able to also gain back from them in the form of de-stressing at the end of the day. He has been unconditionally welcoming of our interests. My daughter and our daughter and I, we both are those people, and Sumit is that rock that helps to support this
That's a
really
sweet thing to
interest
say.
of ours.
Yeah. On a personal growth side, I think you start learning when you start a startup, and you, of course, with your partner, you learn a lot. You actually ask uncomfortable questions which you don't know answers to, right? And you basically figure it out, right? On a daily basis, you go out and learn something new
Right.
because you didn't have that skill,
Right.
and you also between yourselves decide who will learn that skill, because the
That's a
acumen needs
strong
to be
point.
there, right? So I, for example, I don't read much, but she can read like books, right? So she can educate herself and all
three.
of that. But anything which is like watch oriented or something, I can actually do that. So we kind of divide and rule in that sense.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, we are cutting very close to the time that we have. So, but I'm going to ask you guys something that probably you guys are not going to be prepared for. One word. I need one word. Who proposed to whom? You proposed. Okay. Who proposed? Sumit or Arti? You proposed? Awesome. So since this is GHCI and we're talking about women, let's do one last question. Nitin, give me one word to describe your wife and your co-founder.
One word.
One
Okay.
word.
Sweet and small.
Oh, so sweet. Has he ever told you that earlier? He hasn't. Okay. What about you, Sumit?
Awesome and strong.
Oh, awesome and strong. Big round of applause to the allies. All right, guys. I think we have like 4 minutes left. If any of you all have any questions. Oh, okay. We have questions. Either you guys are already married and looking to start something, or already started something. But lovely to have questions. You can have this mic.
Hi everyone. So I'm Vasudha and I'm building Nail It, which is like an edtech platform with my partner. So my questions are driven out of fear, of course. So I have 3 questions. Question number 1 is with the amount of uncertainty that a business had. So did you not think about like one guy takes care of the job, income gets sorted, and the other guy takes all the risk? That's question number 1.
Okay. Anybody? Ashok?
Maybe I can answer that. We had that doubt in the beginning, and I worked for other firms, and then we realized that, like, when we are working together, the amount of satisfaction for ourselves will be higher. And obviously, you should have a like financial backup. For that, you can work for maybe 2 or 3 years, and then after that, you can come back and join your firm. And in the meantime, you can support your partner always. Not in the front page, from the back end, you can support him.
Awesome. Sumit, do you want to?
Yeah, so I mean, that scariness will be there every day, right? So it's not going away. But I think, like Ashwati was talking about, you need some bit of financial backup, right? And then again, if you are not able to find a co-founder, or let's say, if I can say, the bandwidth of running that particular startup with your partner, then it won't make sense. But if you do, then it makes a lot more sense to do it.
Absolutely. Can I please request you to pass the mic and then we'll come back
Sure,
if you
sure.
have time. Pass the mic.
Hi, my name is Nisha. Actually, my question is taken, but I found another one. So, did you have challenges in terms of family support? So, didn't you have questions from your family, restricting you or maybe warning you against both of you getting into the same thing? Maybe it's a financial trouble. If you had one of these, how did you convince them?
Sumit, you want to start?
Yeah, so I think that comes from the place of anxiousness, right? Which is like family thinking that both of you are jumping into it, right? So what will happen to your finances? What will happen to your daughter? All of that. Those questions will remain. I think some point in time you also get thick skin, right? That you got to do this, so you got to do this, right? Family will support, and without family support, nothing works, honestly, right? So there are times when both of us will be actually busy at work. We'll actually have to take help from our parents, to kind of pitch in, or maybe some friends to do some small jobs and all of that. So family support is important, but yes, they will have doubts, they will be anxious, and you got to do what you got to do.
Guys,
Thank
Nitin,
you.
Ashwini.
For us, our families are more happy now because we were having almost 7 years of long distance relationship, and they were asking us always to stay together. And finally, we are together, and they are more happy now, and they are telling us to be together always. Whatever happens, be together.
So
How sweet. Thank you so much.
answer Nisha, parents are going to be parents, family is going to be family. They'll never stop worrying. Even if you grow 40, 50 years, I'm sure Neeta Ambani still scolds her son. Get up in the morning, eat, have breakfast, blah, blah, blah. And knowing my mom keeps shouting at me, say, stop your meeting, have chapati. So that happens. So we have like 10 seconds left. I want to thank my fantastic panelists. You guys did a fantastic job. For somebody who said, you are first time on stage, man, you rocked. So big round of applause for the panel. Over to you, Kajal.
Thank you so much to your panelists and Fincy. I'm just going to request Fincy to please give the mementos to our panelists. Yes, we have Nida too. Nida and Fincy, please do the honors. Now, that was a discussion outside of the tech world and yet inside the tech world.